Hi, beautiful human. I'm Zach. That's Dan. And we welcome to the studio today a human being, an artist, somebody who's a really very interesting story, K-pop star, member of GOT7, and a solo artist. The superfans call him the Quiet Savage. I would like to know why. Say hello to Mark Tuan.
Yo!
Yes. Hello.
What's up, guys? Hello. Good.
So genuinely, like, you were in a group for a very long time, and with that comes being around a lot of people.
Yes.
Are you very much comfortable being a solo artist at this point, or like, because like it's very much trained in you?
Yeah.
It's like it's a different, right? Like it's like coded into your being.
I feel like I'm still very awkward and like not used to it, but used to it at the same time. You know, I think there's like a switch that like turns on. Like when I'm by myself, I still feel like I'm just like a regular guy. You know, I'll go to the gym, go out and get food with my friends, my family, but then like when people recognize me, that's when I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, but your solo artistry is like, it's just you, right? And like,
Yeah.
and even in this setting, like before when you would do interviews, you had a bunch of other people around you.
Yeah.
And you shared the burden of the whole thing.
Yeah.
But there is something to like, even being in like a very intense, like traditional K-pop setting, like would you just turn on and like be back into it? Or
When I'm doing my solo stuff now,
no, like, would you consider your solo stuff genuine K-pop?
I don't think so.
It's not kept to the same idled standards that you were at
Yeah.
GOT7, right? It's different.
Yeah, even like the promotion and everything's very different because like back then in Korea they have the broadcasting like promotional thing, like the stages,
Yeah, like the TV shows and
TV
stuff.
shows and stuff. Yeah, so that's like something I'm not doing for my own solo stuff. So
What are some other differences between what you were doing in GOT7 and what you're doing now?
um
And by the way, we're in a new era, but you have other, you have other solo projects.
yes, yeah, I'm working on more too, but it's a lot different just because back then it's like we have a company that kind of oversees everything. But now being a solo, it's more just like figuring out what I want to do and what I want to portray in terms of like my music and my performances and stuff like that.
Totally get that. But so you did like a lot of the creative lifting with GOT7, right? Even though you shared the responsibility, you were writing a lot of those records.
Yeah. So the records, the members, we all wrote certain songs off the albums and stuff like that. The lead track was written by our leader, JB, and then we would write some of the tracks on the album too. But I think it was like more of a internal like creative process with the company. They would tell us like, okay, this time you guys are going to be writing about a certain topic, right? And then we would go into the studio and like write our own versions, I guess, of that topic and kind of like keep it cohesive in that same world.
Now you're dictating the topics.
Yeah.
So what topic are you dictating for this new era? Because you only have one song.
Yes. So my first album that I dropped was The Other Side, and I feel like that was a more storytelling, a more personal project.
It was really beautifully personal. Like you talk about some real stuff.
Yeah, because I feel like, in K-pop, you can't talk too freely, right? It's kind of hard because the company kind of wants to water things down a little bit, or like we got to show like the fun side, the good side. And so the other side for me was kind of talking about the more negative, of everything that I've been through. And so that was the personal project for me. And then I feel like for this project, because I went on tour and everything, and I wanted to create another project that was more focused on performance. And I feel like that album, The Other Side, was more, free. Like I'd be on stage. There wasn't much choreo. It was kind of less produced. And I feel like this one, I kind of wanted to bring a little bit more of the choreograph, like pieces, and just be able to show a different side to the fans when I do shows now.
Can we talk about like how you got started in all this? Because it is really fascinating.
Yeah.
Because you were just living in Arcadia.
Yeah.
And you got scouted in high school.
In high school, my sophomore year. So
how did they find you?
they were actually doing like a global audition tour. They were going around the States and Canada during that time. And our school were known to have, like, majority of the students there were Asians. So I think they went to my school that day just to kind of look around. And I've told this story a bunch of times, but it's funny because, you know, it was like during lunchtime, and I was kind of, when I talk about this, like, outside of the States, it seems kind of crazy, but like I was standing on my table like during lunchtime and like kind of just like talking to my friends because it was an outdoor patio where we have lunch, and so I was kind of standing on my on the table talking to my friends across and telling him that he owes me a skateboard because he broke mine like the weekend before that. And I was telling him, yeah, you owe me my skateboard. And then in the corner of my eye, I see just these random people that I've never seen on campus before. And usually when you're on campus, you need a visitor's tag, right? And I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of weird because I've never seen them before and they don't have a visitor's tag. And so I was like, okay. And they're staring at me. They're kind of pointing at me too. And so I kind of get off the table and I just like start talking to my friends again. And then they come behind me and tap me on the shoulder. And it was a lady from the company and she had a translator. And then he was saying that, you know, she's from this company in Korea from JYP. She was interested and wanted to see if like I wanted to do auditions, stuff like that.
And you think what?
And I was like, I've never heard of K-pop, you know? It's my sophomore year. This was 2009.
Do you have any aspirations for music at all?
No, that time I did not. I was like on the volleyball team, you know? Like,
Crazy.
Yeah. And then I didn't think too much of it. She called me like right before I went to class again, like during lunch period. And then she's like, can you meet up real quick? We want to give you some stuff. So she gave me like a few CDs from like 2 p.m. from Wonder Girls and the whole pamphlet and then like her business card. And I went home, I just put it on the dining table. I didn't think too much of it. And then during dinner, my parents were like, what is all this? So I had to explain to them what it was. And then I think after dinner, they kind of went on their computer, kind of did some research. And then they saw the company had Rain.
Yeah, they're legit.
Yeah, and Wonder Girls, and they're like, dude, this is the actual, like, a legit company. And so they're like, you should think about it. And I think they got in contact with her, and they were talking to the translator. And then they were kind of figuring out, like, the auditions. And then she asked me if I wanted to audition. My parents asked me if I wanted to audition. And I was kind of hesitant at first. But my friends were saying, it's like, it's a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You don't know what's going to happen. You know, why don't you just audition? Just to see. So I was like, okay, sure. And then the day before, I find out that I need to dance. And they're like, prepare 2 songs to sing. And I was like, I've never sung before. You know, I've never danced. I mean, I was into dance. Like I was watching America's Best Dance Crew and stuff like that during that time.
Not the same, though.
Yeah, not the same. You know, you enjoy watching it, but you don't dance. You never learned it. And I was like, okay, well, like, what do I do? And then I would just play like random music in my room during that time. And I was just like, okay, let me just like feel myself a little bit. And so I did that for like about an hour and I went to the auditions.
That's crazy.
But
yeah.
If you have no aspirations to sing or dance, what do they see in you in the first place?
I'm not sure. But so when I did the auditions, I did all that. And then they're like, okay, can you do some modeling too? And then so they went to their car and they just got like a jacket for me, like a zip up hoodie. And they're like, okay, just put this on and just do some poses.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then I started going to summer school. So that was the end of sophomore year. And then I went to summer school to prep for my SATs. And then about a month later, I hear that they wanted to fly me out to start like training me. They're like, yeah, we see potential. And so I had to make the decision pretty quick. And yeah, next thing I know, I was in Korea training.
That's absolutely wild.
Yeah, and my parents, my sisters, they're like, what do they see in you? Because they were in the room. They were actually in the room like next to where I was auditioning. And I think they heard me sing and everything. They're like, oh, we don't know what they heard. But
I mean, it's like two things. One, like a lot of things can be taught and you
Yeah.
can be trained. And I'm sure you've grown, I know for a matter of fact, you've grown exceptionally as an artist since that point. But it's like two things. Like you're a good looking guy. And like,
Thank
quite
you.
frankly, you speak English.
yes.
And that's a big deal, especially when you have a big group and like as it relates to media and the balance of conversation. But do you speak Korean?
yes. So
Did you speak Korean before?
no, I did not.
But they will teach you.
Yeah. So the only words I knew when I went to Korea was like 안녕하세요, like hi, because I learned that from my friends. And
Sick.
then when I got there, they started telling me like, oh yeah, so there's like different levels, to the company, and then the trainee management floor was on the third floor, and they're like every single time you come up, you need to say 안녕하세요, and when you leave, you need to say 안녕히 계세요. And I was like, oh, okay. So it's like you gotta say hi and bye every single time, like you're walking in and out. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess this is something new to me, And you gotta do a little bow. Yeah.
I mean, that's like a stage of your life where you're learning a lot of things at once.
Yeah, it was a lot for me, especially because
Overwhelming.
I had to go to school too. So in Korea, I started attending international school. And my parents actually flew to Korea first to scout and like make sure everything was legit before I went there.
Really?
Yeah, they didn't want me to just go into something random and like, you don't know what could happen. So they went there and they figured out the whole school situation. And at first, the school was saying they don't take trainees because they know that the whole training system is very hard. And I think that international school was pretty strict. And so I went to school for about, I want to say I started in like September. I went for about 2 months. And I told my parents I couldn't take it anymore.
Overwhelming.
Yeah, it's too much because I would have to wake up 5 a.m. to catch a bus to go to school. And I would come back from school, start my training right away. And then my training would end at 10 p.m. And then after 10 p.m. I would have to do my homework, which I would finish probably like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. And I had to wake up again at like 5. And that was like just on repeat.
All that while experiencing very intense culture shock.
Yeah, and learning the language, everything. And I was trying to pick up dancing and singing too at the same time.
Can you explain what the training process is? Because we always hear about it, but like I've never actually heard someone explain exactly what happens while training.
And specifically someone who literally had no at all remote interest
Yeah.
in doing this whatsoever. Because a lot of the trainees are people who have like, they've at least done like.
Yeah, they either sang or they danced. It was like their dream, like, or they knew how to play instruments. So when I went into the company, I like there was Young K from Day 6, which like I think he was already doing music stuff on YouTube with like his friends.
Yeah.
And then there was also Peniel from B2B. He knew how to play the guitar and like he was, learning all these things. But it was interesting because everybody there either knew how to dance or they knew at least like one skill, and I had to pick everything up. But to answer your question, the whole training system for me was because I was a foreigner and I just I didn't have school at that time in the beginning. It was 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. for me. And the dorm was like maybe like not even a 1 minute walk. It was like really right around the corner during that time. So 10 a.m., 10 p.m. And then after 10 p.m., if you wanted to practice yourself, you can stay in a little bit later just to practice. For me, I had to learn Korean. So I had Korean like lessons twice a week, 2-3 times a week. And then there would be vocal lessons and dance lessons on top of that. Yeah.
Do you remember the moment you realized that like maybe you were actually like picking this thing up and like figuring out how to sing and dance?
For me, it kind of felt like, okay, in the beginning, it kind of felt like it was like PE class to me. Because like during dancing, oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
During,
By the way, usually a K-pop star would never even have their phone on now, right? Somebody would be holding your phone.
yeah, we would have, yeah. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
But because when I first started dancing, I had to go through the fundamentals first, like basics. And so it would be like a class of like 10 to like 15 people in there. And that it kind of just reminded me of like being in PE, you know, just like learning, but then you're in front of a mirror in the room. But I don't think it really hit me like, oh shoot, like I'm learning how to like sing and dance. It was kind of just like school at some point. Yeah.
But do you feel like you gained a real skill from it?
I think so, for sure.
I mean, yeah.
At that time, I was like, it was really hard for me because I got in trouble a lot.
What were you doing?
So, because I never sang, it was like, even though I practiced, the teacher thought I didn't practice.
Just because you weren't showing improvements.
Yeah.
At any point during this process, were you like, what am I doing? Like, I want to be back in Los Angeles. Like, I want to go home.
I think it was about, I was it like a year or two into the training program that I was like, I started missing home, you know, getting a little homesick and kind of doubting myself a little bit and just wondering like, just because all the kids there are so talented, you know, and then it's very competitive, even though you guys grow very close. You're still in a company where like they're trying to do a business, right? So it gets competitive even though we're not trying to be competitive amongst ourselves. And so at one point I was just like, I don't know if I can handle this anymore. But I did hear from the training management team that like my parents, when they first visited, they talked to them and they said that like, you know, Mark, he likes to learn. He likes to take on like new skills. Like I learned how to play guitar before and like play the drums, but I kind of gave that up within like a few months. So my parents gave them a heads up and was like, you know, we don't know how this is gonna be. So I didn't want to become like a failure to my parents. And so I kind of just held that in and just kind of fought my way through.
Are you happy you did that?
Yeah, for sure.
Does the competitiveness ever end even when you're in a group?
I mean, I was never very competitive with my members, I feel like. I don't think we were very competitive amongst each other. But then I think once we start doing our solo stuff, it's not that it gets competitive. It's like, okay, if this guy is doing more, you know, I gotta step myself up a little bit, and like whether it's my own ability and like my skill, I gotta figure out what I want to do too, you know.
How many years into training did you get casted?
Into the group?
Yeah. Because like you're doing this in the hopes of getting into a group, but you really could have trained for 3 or 4 years and then been like shown the door.
Yeah. And I feel like that happens a lot too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah. For me, I think it was about 2.5 to 3 years. And then I started prepping with the group.
Do you remember the first day you met them all?
The first day I met them all. So everybody not everybody, most of the people in the group, I want to say half of them was there. They were there when I first got into the group. So JB, Jinyoung, and Bam Bam. They were already there before I was. And I think they were probably there So I went to JYP in August 2010, sorry, 2010. And they were already there like since the beginning of the year. And then Jackson, Yugyeom, and Youngjae came after me. Yeah. And then they were kind of, I think, like every other year or every year apart.
Do you feel like you gain new parts of yourself by doing this or lost parts of yourself?
Like myself.
Yeah, as a human being, because like you do like take on a whole other like. Do you ever think like, what if you just stayed in Arcadia?
I have thought about that, but I think there's some things that I lost, but a lot of things that like I've gained too. But I enjoy where I'm at right now. Yeah, I've thought about like what I would be doing if I didn't go. And I still can't imagine or picture it.
Do you go with the intention that like GOT7 could last forever?
Yeah. I think we could last forever. We're still trying to be active as a group, but it's hard because everybody they're trying to focus on the solo stuff, even me, and also the military. They gotta go serve.
Is that what put like kind of like the brakes on the whole like?
A 3-year hiatus?
Yeah, right. Like that is what creates it. But then also like now the deal with JYP is over, but your solo stuff has always been on your own, correct?
Yeah. So the solo stuff started after we left JYP.
Because sometimes like you end up doing the solo stuff with the original company, but
Yeah.
now the reality is everybody does their own solo stuff. And
Yeah.
when GOT7 comes back together, it's just on your own.
Yeah. And I mean, for GOT7, we've been doing it like case by case. We would find companies that would help us, and we'll just sign like a one-off kind of with them.
It's actually a cool place to be.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, we're lucky that, there are people that are willing to do that with us. So
The freedom to create as you wish and to kind of do whatever you want and to explore this whole other side of artistry that is like not beholden to any other rules or regulations or anyone else's vision. It's
yeah. I think the last project that we put out was pretty cool because we've been doing our solo stuff for about like 2 to 3 years, and I think almost 3 to 4 years, and we got to everybody got to put out a song that was kind of in the world that they're kind of doing their own music in.
That's
If that
cool.
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Like your sound and your style,
Yeah.
and it's representative of you, who you are out of the group, and now it's part of the group as a collective.
Yeah.
Is yours Out the Door?
Yeah. Out the door.
So how'd that song come about?
So that song I actually wrote for myself. But our leader JB said he wanted like a song for me that was very like rock and like band inspired, and so that song I was kind of saving for myself, but I was like, you know what? I think if we divide up the parts and like we use this as a song for the group, I think it'd be cool because I feel like it's also a sound that you've never really hear in K-pop, like a more American like alt pop track.
Which, by the way, is your sound, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's woven through the other side. It's woven through Fallen, and I gotta say, like, where we're going with High As You is like a little bit sexier,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So slightly different,
Yeah.
but still like very all pop.
Yes. So yeah, I think this next project it has a little bit of like R&B sound to it too. But the last EP, Fallen, yeah, it was very like alt pop inspired.
By the way, the other side you should listen to. It is very much about your time as an idol, right? Like
Yes.
it is a story of like the other side of what everybody sees.
Yeah.
It's worth your ear. It's really great. It's all on Amazon Music. There's a link below. Did it feel good to just release that project?
Yeah, so I mean, like me coming back to LA, honestly, like didn't know what I wanted to do because when we were in the company, it's not like we focused a lot on our solo career, right? It was more of the group stuff. And now that, everybody was kind of leaving the company and parting ways, it was like I wasn't confident with myself in whether I could like just be able to do my solo music, because like you're so used to performing a song with other people where it's like now everything is like all the eyes are it's on you, so
And also, like, who are you outside of the group? Like,
yeah,
so
and, like,
much of
what's your sound and like
Yeah.
you got to figure all that out. What's your identity?
your identity, like for years, has been like training to be in a group and then giving every part of yourself.
Yeah.
And yet, that's different than the other groups, other members. But you're giving all of yourself to this one thing.
Yeah, so
Wow.
it was like I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, and I came back to the States and got in contact with managers, and they started putting me into rooms with like writers and producers. And then in the room, it's like, what do you want to talk about? Like they're like, so what's on your mind? And I guess that was kind of a way for me to vent and kind of tell my story. And so during every studio session, not during the studio session, like after I got home, I was like, okay, this is doable. Like it's fun to like kind of write
Show
things.
up
Yeah. And like,
just speak.
yeah. So I went home and kind of on my notes, I wrote down like what I want to talk about, like topics of like things that I've felt like from beginning to end of like the whole era that I was in Korea. And so I kind of, if the song is also listed, like the track list is listed in like me leaving LA and like finding what I want to do. And then it would be like becoming a group. And then like all like my emotions and what I've been through would be at the end.
What a cool way to like revisit and like re-examine
Yeah.
everything you went through.
So it was tough, but it was a fun process for me.
Do you feel like that actually made you into an artist?
I think so.
Creating that?
I think so. Yeah. I learned a lot, and just being in the group, it's like you have, like when you hear a song, you know what part you're gonna be. Like you know which part they're gonna be. They're gonna divide for you, right? Because we didn't really get to say like, oh, I want this part in the song. It was kind of like
it's told to you.
yeah, it was like, this is you, this is them, and come in and record. But just having to, go into the studio and write a whole song and like, okay, this is all gonna be me, right? Like this beginning to end of the song is gonna be me, and it's like, I think it built my skill too, because I wasn't much of a singer in the group. I had like more of the like rap and like melodic rap, and so I guess I picked up a lot of like basic skills while recording.
Even though you did write for GOT7, this is just different skills being unlocked.
Yeah.
Spending all that time in Korea, what is one thing that you wish California, America adopted that Korea currently does?
I want to say the delivery service. Food delivery service. I think and also like their food, like they're open like 24 hours almost,
Yeah, in Korea.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and you have so much variety that you can order from like during midnight.
And people think that we have it good here.
Yeah, and everything is so far away too.
In Korea, everything's close.
Yeah, and they're like riding on bikes too, so it's like it's fast,
Seoul's a great place.
Yeah.
Do you miss it?
There are times I miss it, and I mean I've lived there for 10, 11 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a good chunk of your life.
Yeah, so like living there as time passes, I'm like, okay, like it's almost been like half of my life here, you know?
Do you have any intention of going back?
To live?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think I'll probably be out here. My family, everybody's here, so
Makes sense.
yeah. I'll probably just fly back and forth if needed.
Can you please explain to me why your dad has 250,000 followers on Instagram?
I have no idea too.
I mean, dude, he's a character. I
Yeah.
understand. Like, a part of me gets it, but then a part of me is like, okay, interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure too.
Your parents are very special, very supportive.
Yeah, they've been very supportive since the beginning, and I've been lucky.
So for this new era, we only have one song.
For now,
But how many songs do you have done that we haven't heard?
I've recorded a few, kind of trying to decide, and you know, we're in the process where we have the songs and we gotta pick and choose now. So
Are all of them sexy? I mean, they are. Like, they're very sexual records.
I feel like this is probably the most, I guess it's weird for me to say it, but like, yeah, like sexy song.
yeah. Like,
the
have you
project.
ever said that in an interview while in
No,
GOT7?
I've never been like, I mean, I don't think I've said that before. Probably the other members are like, oh yeah, it's a little bit sexy, but
So why now?
I don't, because I do think the song does give off a little bit of that vibe.
Yeah, but you created the song, so why are we creating sexy songs now?
I think I'm at a time where it's like I'm a little bit more mature, and I think I want to show a side of that. Just in Korea, you know, we're all like being cute, and like there's like being cool, you know, like the performance, and I don't know. It's just I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to like make it sexy, but I think it's this type of music is like what I enjoy listening to.
Push me to the edge, right into your bed, breathing in the sex. I can't take it, but I know that I use my own supply. Fuck my own advice.
Yeah.
Written from reality.
So I think it's like there's like part of me that's like, okay, you know, I come from a K-pop background, and I just want to be a little bit more free in like what I can talk about, right? I don't want to be so restricted and confined, and be a little bit more open
And honest.
and honest. Yeah.
Interesting. By the way, you have done interviews where you've responded to your fans' thirst tweets about you.
Yes.
People do. They're into you. Your fans, they are. They're very into it. Like they're there, you know? They're there. What?
Well, you talk about being more mature now. Like, how do you feel when you listen back to the group's first, like the music you guys were releasing like 10 years ago?
There are some songs where like I get a little bit like cringed, but there are a lot of songs that I'm like, whoa, like these songs are pretty good too. And like there are times where, you know, I'll go through a GOT7 phase where like I'll go back and replay some of the songs, and there's a part of me like, oh damn, like I wish we can perform these songs too, you know, because I feel like there's so many songs that we never got to perform on stage that I feel like would be fun or the fans would enjoy.
Like what?
Like, because when we release an album, it's like there's what, like 10, 12 songs, right? And it's like when we do a show, it's okay, you gotta promote the new song, and you're throwing in a bunch of songs that are previous like title tracks, and then you would have some ballad, But then there are a bunch of like songs that
Never make it.
yeah, that doesn't make the show, you know. And every single time you do a new show, it's like you just tweak that list a little bit, and by that time you have new songs, and the other songs just get kind of buried, I guess. Yeah.
Is there one that you wish you could perform?
Right now, there's one song that I went back and I was like, there's this song called Mayday from GOT7 that I don't think we ever really got to do like a performance to, which I thought could have been cool.
Why that song?
That song, I think when we were deciding on the title track for the album, I thought that could be a cool title track, but it just became like, what do they call it? Just like a B track?
Yeah, like a B-side, filler.
Yeah.
What was the hardest part about being in GOT7?
The hardest part, I don't think there was like anything in particular that was like very hard, but
I mean, being on the other side of the world without your family.
yeah, just being able to come back home and like visit. I think, and like our schedules were pretty tight. It was like back to back to back, you know, even if we're not doing albums, we would be doing some other type of promotional
like,
stuff.
You can't live real life during that time, right?
Yeah.
Like, do you have friendships out of the group? Not really.
Yeah, but I think like I kind of keep to myself too. I don't really throw myself out there. Yeah.
So then what form, like, meaning socially?
Yeah, socially. Like I would have like some friends here and there. But I like to stay at home. Like I was more of a homebody.
So what outlet, like what type of outlet does music then become to you? Because it was something that you just learned how to do.
I didn't use music as an outlet back then. And it was more like I would talk to the members. Yeah, so like my members were like the closest friends.
Who were you working with on this new body of work, this new album, whatever it's going to be?
This new album?
Yeah, who are you working with?
It's all different, like producers and writers.
Last time it was like Captain Cuts.
Captain Cuts.
Bissett.
Yeah.
You had a lot of people on there.
Yeah, so I think every song is very different just because I feel like being in K-pop, it's like you can kind of mold yourself into like so many different genres and like different like performances and stuff like that. So I think for this upcoming project, it's like there's a little bit of everything, you know, but it's pretty cohesive to where it has a similar sound, but they all have their own color.
What's the biggest creative risk you've taken since being independent?
I think I've yet to kind of take a risk. I think I've been still keeping it safe because I still want to find my own sound. I don't want to go too far, like too experimental yet. Just because I feel like I am still starting my solo journey. I've only had 2 projects out, right? And this is my 3rd one.
Compared to like the amount of projects you used to release?
Yeah, that was like what, like I
Dude,
think
3 albums a year.
But that was like only in Korea. There was a point where we were doing 3 albums a year in Korea, but then we would do like another 2 to 3 in Japan.
Yeah.
So it was like 6 projects.
But do you want that level of output again, or are you happy with being able to control it and do it at your own pace?
Yeah, I think it's half and half for me. Like sometimes I'm like, dude, I want to just like put things out, but then part of me is it's like I don't think I would be able to do that again. But I do enjoy the process right now, where it's like I got to take my time and really decide and focus on what I want to, bring to the fans, and as an artist and performer.
What is that with this new era?
For this new era, it's I want to say the last tour I did, something felt empty to me in terms of like my overall show. I think it's just because I'm so used to the type of production and everything that kind of goes into a K-pop concert. It's like all the choreo, and it's like everything is like there's so much happening, right? But because the last tour I did was off of the other side, it was more of a personal and like more intimate. So I didn't show a lot of performance during that tour. And so I think for this project, what I want to add is being able to show the fans that, even though I'm doing music out here in America, and even though the music is in English, I still want to show them that, like, I still want to give them a little bit more like Korean like production in terms of like the performance. And when I do my next tour, it's more built out.
Do you have an idea for a date for the album?
I want to say it is coming soon. This next project is going to be an EP first. The EP will come. It's going to be this year, and then after that we'll work on the album.
Beautiful. Final thoughts, Daniel?
He's got to go.
I know. Thanks for hanging out.
I gotta go?
Yeah, that's what we're being told. Wrap it up.
Zach, shut your mouth. But I thank you so much for being here.
No, thank you for having me.
Do you still have a lip tattoo?
Yeah.
What's on it? What does it say?
It's just a little smiley face inside my lip.
But like, doesn't it go away eventually?
That's what I heard. They said it fades pretty easily, but
it's still there?
yeah.
Interesting.
Mine's been good. It's been
How long has it been there?
5 years maybe.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you have a smiley face on your knee too?
Yeah. I got a little.
Wow, you have a lot of tattoos.
Yeah, I got a.
Wow.
Did you have to cover those up when you were in the group?
So when I was in the group, I didn't have this many tattoos. I only had like two to 3 tattoos.
So easy to manage.
Yeah, it was easy to manage.
How many do you have now?
It's hard for me to count. About, I think it's like close to like 15 to 16.
Wow.
Yeah.
Living life, man.
Yeah, but
Take a note of it.
no more for now.
Do you believe you are the quiet savage?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean,
fans think you are.
yeah, I think that's when I'm in the group, just because our members, they get very like excited and they talk a lot compared to me. So when we're in a group, it's like it's very just hectic, and I'm usually the quiet one in the group, but I can just be very. I think it's because like I'm just straightforward sometimes to them. That's why the fans kind of gave me that nickname.
Yeah, blunt.
Yeah.
It's a good way to be. Will you guys reunite for another album, maybe? Another EP, I'm sorry.
Hopefully. I know that we have 2 members left that need to go to the military and do their service. So hopefully after they come back, we'll have another reunion.
Until then, Winter Heptagon.
Yes,
Listen
sir.
to it. But also listen to all Mark's music. It's really great. You make
Thank
good
you.
stuff, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's great quality music.
Thank you guys so much.
Mark Tuan. Twain?
Twain.
Twain?
No.
Mark Tuan.
Like the Tuan, like the author. Mark Tuan, everybody.